Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here. I'm Nikki. This is Kurt. Most of you know us already who are already in the chat. I already see Aaron in the chat and Jose, and I see Ro, and Sammy was in here earlier. Anyway, we are without, when Chris is here, we are without Angel today because unfortunately Angel is very sick. So hopefully he'll be feeling better soon. He wishes he were here, but you're stuck with the two of us for today until we bring out our special guest. So without further ado, welcome, Dillon. Happy Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Productive one, at least so far.
Another work day for you and a work day for Kurt. So it's not the beginning of your day.
Oh, no.
It's the second end to your day.
Yeah. Now we get to have the fun part of the day.
I was going to say, even if we're still working, now's the fun part. I get to mess with the animals for the rest of the day.
Yeah. And show some animals off here in a little bit, hopefully.
Oh, I got you guys. We pretty much take out everybody except for, unfortunately, my biggest girl, because whether I like it or not, she's given me another clutch this year.
That's exciting. And did you just have another clutch this week?
Yeah, so my Het TK Caramel pair, she laid this week. Surprisingly, she wasn't due until yesterday, but she laid a few days early.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that was my only planned pairing for the year. The girl who's still about to go, I haven't bred that girl in 6 years.
Oh, man.
Gosh.
I'm no BS. She has not seen a male in 6 years. But she keeps giving me clutches every year.
Yeah, the retained sperm is pretty crazy.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous. I've heard of retained sperm clutches 1 year, maybe a second year with like not good fertility. This will be her 5th retained clutch in a row.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I bred her initially the first year, 6 years ago. Definitely wanted that clutch, right? Following year, I introduced Gizmo. I think I left him in there for about 3 hours, but we were in here 2.5 of those 3 hours, right? And then I was like, no, I'm going to pull him. And I pulled him and haven't paired him since. And she's given me clutches every year with decent fertility. Granted, last year's clutch was a little lower on fertility, but pretty impressive for her having, 30, 40 egg clutches and most of them being fertile.
Oh my gosh.
I want to say I heard Dr. Warren Booth talking about like 6 to 8 years for retained sperm clutches. I can't remember what species he was talking about. But
I might have. If you find that later, let me know. I want to hear that. Because I've only heard of a few people. I know, oh my God, I'm totally spacing his name. Well, my buddy Aaron has a rock that does that. And then there's someone else I talked to who has a retic that does that. Every year, just keeps laying eggs. But other than those two, I haven't heard of many people who've had it, this long.
I think it was a retic that they were monitoring.
Okay.
But yeah. If I can find it, I'll send it to you.
Don't get me wrong. Incredible. I love that girl, but man, I don't want her to breed anymore. I just want her to be my big, awesome pet. That's my baby. Amanda always jokes that that's my second wife. So at this point,
I gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I just wish she wouldn't keep giving.
Stop. Stop.
Don't get me wrong. She makes absolutely beautiful babies. I love that girl to death. For me, breeding the Burms isn't like let me hatch as many as I can. It's no, I want to be very selective with my pairings. I'm only breeding for stuff that I want to see or want to line breed or I don't have, so I can keep stuff and then I'll find good homes for the rest. But I've always said since the beginning of the Burm stuff, I'll maybe have 2-3 clutches max a year because I don't feel like putting that many big snakes in the market.
Right. Now, how for those of us like myself that can never remember, how large do they get?
Average adult is 12 to 16 foot. You'll get some adults that push that, like Carmela is definitely pushing 16 plus. And that's also why I want her to stop breeding so I can continue to push that. For me, I want to see the biggest Burm possible in my lifetime healthily. So without power feeding, I don't want them fat. I want to get a 20-foot real healthy burm. Hopefully I can see that before my time.
Now, on the menu for a snake that size, what are you feeding?
So I like to do a varied diet. The staple for the adults is rabbits, but they'll get pigs, chickens, roosters. Just recently at the last expo, a local farmer came up to me and said that they have stillborn goats that they would like to help me out with. So that's going to be an awesome endeavor soon. I know Carmela will love that. She'll take that thing down. It'll just look like she ate a little football or something, barely.
Yeah. Just gotta
But
get her to
I like
stop
to vary
leaving
the
you
diet.
presents.
Yeah, the staple's definitely rabbit. For the majority, I'd say 70% roughly, give or take, is rabbit. But I like to switch it up every once in a while. Just like us, we don't want, I love pizza, but I don't want pizza every night. I might have it 4 nights and be cool, but maybe those other nights, have some eggs Benedict or some shit.
Then we'd look like a football.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
Exactly.
have pizza every night. Yeah, that would not be good. Is it hard to find the food that you need?
No, we
you do
breed
your
all of
own
our own
rats.
rabbits.
Do
We
you?
breed all of our
Okay,
own
there you
rabbits. Yep. I also supply a local, a few of the local people with rabbits. Very case by case. We only breed for what people want. So I've had some people recently come up, ask if they can get rabbits. Yes, but you're going to have to wait a few months because I only breed, you know what I mean? I don't want to overproduce. Only got so much freezer space. With that said, the pigs, chickens, the other stuff I'll either get from reliable local like farmers and stuff or homesteaders that I know in the area, or we'll order pigs every once in a while or guinea pigs, etc.
What is breeding rabbits like compared to breeding rodents?
So honestly, Amanda does most of the rodent breeding in general. Obviously, I help her with anything she needs.
She's a smart lady, I can tell already.
Yep. So she does most of the feeder stuff, thank God, because this room alone keeps me busy along with the day job. But typically, there's like 3 different styles of breeding rabbits, right? You have your basically like slow and steady, which is where you breed the girl, you let her have her litter, she gets to wean that litter, then you might give her another few weeks off, then you breed her again. Then you have like intermittent breeding, I believe is the term they like to use, which is where you breed the girl, she has her litter, she'll get to wean the litter, and then you breed her again. We do what they call fast or rapid breeding, which is where that girl's bred, she has her litter, maybe a few days later, she's bred again. So by the time that litter is weaned, we have another litter on the way.
About what we do with the rats.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and their gestation's about the same 28 days, almost right on the dot, 28, 30 days.
Okay.
And then we breed Californian, New Zealand, Flemish cross. That's what we have for our rabbits. We found it's a good balance of, meat and size. So that's what works for us and the Northwest environment, at least for us.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's nice too that it's like comparable to a rodent's cycle.
Yeah, definitely a lot more like time, I would say. But with us, well, I guess you could say per animal, if that makes sense. Although we also have, I think, what are we pushing now? 42 breeding colonies of rodents, something like that. I forget. I just built her some more racks. I'll be honest. Yep.
They're out there. That's all you need to know.
All I know is I got everything I need. And when people hit me up for rodents, I probably got them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what matters, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
That's the point we're finally at now, because we have what started out as our one shack, which now he calls my shack, which is like this really nice shed. And then they built him what he calls his shack. So now we both have a shack. I don't know. We work in both of them. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
So the work isn't divided. I don't know.
When we were doing pets, they would majority come out.
Oh, that's fine.
The majority of them would come out of the shed.
Okay, I got you.
We're done with the pet rats, at least for now.
So I just had to build Amanda a second shed out there to put all of her supplies in so we could use the main shed with electricity and everything for the rodents because we already had it. We had the filters and the fans and the holes already cut in the walls. And you know what I mean? It just made sense to get a separate area for all of the bedding, the food and all that. And then that way we can maximize the square footage of that one and our airflow and everything.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. He built a loft for us in our first rat shack.
Yeah, all the extra tubs and bedding and stuff goes up there.
It's a
Oh, that'd be perfect. We scored one of those. It's nice. It looks good. It's like I think they call it the modernist shed, but it's one of those like thick plastic ones you bolt together and everything.
Oh yeah.
It looks pretty cool. I'll have to shoot you guys a picture or something later. But we ended up scoring a really good deal on, I think it's 6x7, one of those.
Yeah.
And so we just have it like perfectly organized where you walk in, you have a stack of rabbit food, stack of rat food. I think she has 2 stacks of rat food going. And then you have the stacks of bedding. And then we got like a cabinet off to the side for all the like random cleaning stuff or whatever. And then we have that, you guys have seen those giant like farm fans.
No, yeah.
We got one of those we typically pull out in the summer, both for the rabbits and the rats.
That's nice.
Yeah, it definitely helps keep them cool. When we get like a couple of years ago, we got that really, really hot, 4 or 5 days or whatever it was.
Yeah.
We definitely came in clutch then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So rabbits don't, especially the rabbits, don't do the heat well. I mean, rats don't either, but as long as you keep the air moving with the rats, they've always been fine for us. You might get, the big pregnant girl who's just a little too exhausted. Yeah. And you might lose that. But for the most part, they do well. The rabbits, on the other hand, do not like the super hot temperature. They got to be able to escape it.
That's what we've heard. They don't like it when it's too hot or when it's too cold.
Yeah, typically, so ours are good down to freezing, typically even a little below, but we cover them. So I've got a tarp that I, put across the front of this custom hutch I built. And we'll just drop that when it's super rainy or windy. We'll just drop that so they're covered, or if it gets too cold. Otherwise, they handle the cold for pretty decent, but the heat, we got to have frozen water bottles out there, try to keep some airflow, keep them in the shade.
You hear our dog. Our dog discovered her squeaky toy.
Oh, fun.
This will be good here in a second. Your guys are going to love it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Especially with the fur difference with the rabbits.
Yeah. We'll have to send you some pictures of our setups. It's been a fun
adventure. Most definitely.
It started out with one rat rack where the snakes are now. That lasted not very long.
Man, the amount of dust they make is unreal.
And then I was hell-bent on having a cage of pets in the house for a long while until probably about 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this has got to stop. Finally, one day I was like, I can't do it. I'm vacuuming every morning and every night.
Well, and then the snakes get a whiff and now they're all in food mode all the time.
Well,
we had that problem because at our last house, when Amanda and I first got together and first kind of started everything, we had a rack of rodents. I think it was a 3 or 4 tall, not many, but that's what we started out with, right? And then quickly I was like, nope, these got to go. The Burms are just constantly smelling them and not happy about it. So then at the time we had a big garage. So I kind of made a little room, plastic dot, almost like a freaking kill room. You know what I mean? Plastic that whole area off. And then that was just the little rodent area. So I built 2 or 3 more little 4 stacks. And then we had this 4-story cage that the rats were in. And then eventually I was like, we need more. Our collection's growing. So that's when I started really building the taller racks and the water systems. And then we moved here and got the whole shed. And I'm like, well, that whole wall needs to be full of racks. And yeah, that just keeps growing and not stopping.
We understand that. We understand that. If racks could build themselves for free in the night while we were sleeping, that would.
I wouldn't say.
Oh my God,
really like if that happened.
That would be great.
We've saved back so many females that we need to put in new racks, and I go out there and I look at all of them and I go, someday, you just keep growing. Someday you'll have a spot.
We've got several racks that are past due a little bit for being cold.
So.
Oh, to replace them.
Yeah.
So we finally gotten a good cycle. Our one back wall has 6 racks, right? So every 4 to 5 weeks, we move the rat or the whole colony over one. And by the time it makes it to the end of the wall and they're ready to move, the next one's 5, rack 5 is ready to move to rat 6. Rat 6 gets completely culled or fed off that day. And then we just keep the cycle going and we just keep holding back females.
Yeah,
That's
kind of how we started doing it. And that way they're only producing for, 6 to 7 months roughly is their like real production cycle. And then we cull them because we noticed, at least with ours, after that production fell off immensely and it wasn't really worth the time, energy, and food to keep that colony producing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
even with our older stuff, we've had pretty good luck.
Yeah. We'll just get pockets of where you can tell it's just not a good line. Then you're like,
3 to 5ers, and you're like,
that one's
that
gotta
one
go.
probably needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got to figure out a good system. Right now we have like I had him put like little whiteboards. So they each have like a little whiteboard strip.
Okay.
That's nice because we just keep little notes on those on most of the racks, but not all of them have them.
I'm going to start doing like painter's tape.
Yeah.
Just writing the date.
Make it easier.
Like the colony was born or put together or whatever. Yeah. So what ratio do you guys do?
We have we started out with 2 to 1 and now we're running 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Females to male?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have in our bigger, then we have we got from Angel, like the
large
big
tubs.
cement tubs.
Yep.
And those have 4 to 1.
Right 5. Now. Some of them are 5 to 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The difference between 2 to 1 and 3 to 1 is absolutely insane.
Yep. So we use the standard concrete tub, but we do 1.4 and 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
With that said, you got to be out there a little more often to,
feed,
fill the buckets, clean them.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
No, we have enough females saved back that we could do that. In fact, I went out yesterday and put females in all the tubs that were low on females because of the loss here and there that comes with it all. But we need to go out and probably add more. Yeah. We have about 55 rat colonies, I think. So
nice.
Keep busy enough. And then I don't even know how many mouse colonies anymore, like 20. But our mice colonies are happily going. I got to go out to the mice yesterday and I'm terrible. Kurt will tell you, anybody that will listen, that I'm terrible about it because I don't like to get rid of the little tiny baby ones.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so little. Those
and
little
I keep having to
pinkies.
tell her, people have snakes that eat little tiny mice.
So I went out there
You gotta
yesterday.
freeze them.
Got 180 of them. 180 little tiny day-old pinkies and to fuzzies, and I felt accomplished.
So you guys are coming down from for Hillsboro, yeah?
Yes, we are.
Maybe you can make a pit stop and drop me off some of them pinkies on your way.
So there'll be more.
We hate producing mice. We got rid of all the colonies. It sucked because I actually took in Angel's colony of mice, and I watched them for months kill it for Angel. Killed it. I don't know what it is about our space. Maybe it's just the rabbits and the rats being in close proximity, but none of them did well for us. They produce a little bit and then the babies would be gone. And it just kept happening. And eventually I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Well, let's just get rid of them, and me and Amanda were like, nope, she didn't want to do it anyway, Yeah.
And the level of stink.
They do. They have a whole different level of stink.
Exactly. And they're just little shits when it comes to biting and jumping around and,
escaping.
Yeah, exactly. So we got rid of them all. But it's funny you say that because with these chondros that Tucker and I hatched, I'm having a hard time finding enough mice pinkies locally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we probably have them. I am like a crazy rodent lady, and I found the key to our success. We started out not successful. We tried to breed mice for a long while and nothing happened. Didn't matter.
They were just like reabsorbing.
Nothing would happen.
You could see them grow and then they just shrink back down to nothing.
And then
no dead ones either.
Then we started out with all new mice, and then I don't even remember. We just got mice from other people that were getting out, and then it took off. And now I run like these insanely ridiculously large mouse colonies, and they are having the time of their life in there.
Yeah, it's like a 15 or 16 to 2.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Or
geez.
1.
They love it.
There's some happy guys.
There are some happy guys, and there's little babies all over the place in there. Angel made it. Angel's here in the chat. I hope you
What's
feel
up,
better,
buddy?
Angel.
Hope you
And
feel better, man.
Tucker wrote a long while ago and said that I know him. He's my best friend.
Oh,
You.
yeah, that's my dude. That's my brother
Stalkers
from
was
another.
asking about a dark snake.
What did they ask? Let's go back up. Ashley was asking about, let's see if I can find it. Oh, you're in
Sweet.
Golan.
Oh, which one? I mean,
She said the dark female.
Oh, well, you want to see that one? I can pull her out.
Ashley wanted to make sure she didn't miss seeing that.
I got you, Ashley.
Oh, and Lucid Arboreals asked ASFs. Dillon, have you ever tried to breed ASFs?
So we had ASFs going for a while, and then I don't know, we just kind of stopped doing it. But honestly, I might start again.
Yeah, we breed ASFs. I don't know what it is about us, but we seem to have less success with ASFs than mice.
Yeah,
Greatly.
it could be the temperature difference, or who knows.
Who knows? I don't know what it is, but
Might
we're
have to
trying.
put on this other light so you guys can
Here.
see her a bit better.
And I'll put you by yourself here.
We'll put you on the big screen.
Let's move you there. There you are.
But that's the female. She's growing pretty good now.
And what is that?
An Angolan python. Python anchete.
Never even heard of that. It's beautiful.
So they're a southern African python species. They have a very small native range, if I remember correctly. It's only like 3 or 4 square miles or something crazy like that.
Wow.
Closely related to a ball python, but oddly enough, more closely related to the African rock. They get a little bit bigger than ball pythons. They have beaded scales, so I'm sure it's hard to tell, but one day when you guys come visit, you'll be able to feel they feel completely different than a ball python. But just a really cool species. We've wanted these since pretty much day one, and finally we have a pair. We're growing up now. You got to raise these guys for quite a while. It's not like the balls. For the most part, I've heard it takes most people about 5 to 7 years to get them to breeding size and age. So this little girl's pushing 3. We picked her up from Nick Mutton. And then we've got our male, who's still quite a bit smaller. And we picked him up from Predators. So she's got this really like dark coloration compared to most Angolans. The male has more of an atypical, I guess you would call it, coloration. And pattern for that matter. But he has this really cool head stamp.
Ashley says when you get to breed her, she wants to be on the list.
I got you. So we're hoping we can get this really cool, like kind of heart-shaped head stamp from the ball.
Oh wow!
Into the dark color and the like more kind of labyrinthy pattern of our female.
Yeah.
So this is more of an atypical coloration. Again, this lack of better terms. She's, like I said, she's really dark, and that's why we chose her. And we're just kind of hoping we can line breed these two down the line and make some cool stuff. I don't know. I just think they're a really cool species. It's kind of like the python that you feed like a boa, but you keep it like a colubrid.
Wow.
I use those terms loosely, but those other Angolan keepers will know what I mean. You keep them a lot drier. Where they're from, they might get 2 inches of rain a year. So what I noticed is, like, you know, most snakes, they have a stuck shed, right? You give them a soak. Do not do that with an Angolan. It'll make it a lot worse. And we actually have to keep them, 1, a lot drier, obviously. But 2, I can't even fill the waters up all the way because it'll be too much humidity, I've noticed, for them.
Jeez.
They're really easy. It's just you have to learn those cues to not think like a really humid ball python, right? So you just got to keep them a little drier, feed them a little less. Pretty easy. But they're super cool. You get like 5-6 feet typically. Just a little bit bigger than a ball python. For the most part, not as thick, although a lot of the ones you see in captivity are really thick. But if you look at the wild specimens that are 4 or 5, even a little over 5 foot, they're actually a pretty slender snake.
Their head looks a lot like a ball python's.
Yeah.
With the eye stripes and everything.
So they're still, they're closely related, and they are technically also an African python species, just a bit further south. And I think they have a small overlapping area that they've been found, but it's not like their main area.
Going back to the mice, it looks like Mike from Ball Python Boulevard said he can have you covered with mice, I think.
Oh, sweet, Mike. I know you were running low, man, so I didn't want to keep hitting you up every 3-4 days, because that's how often I've been feeding these chondros.
It's nice when you find somebody that's close, though, because
Mike's
that makes
only
all the difference.
20-30 minutes, depending on traffic, but I don't mind the drive.
There's so many of you that are down there.
Yeah, it's like
it's not so many of us up here.
You guys got to come down here.
I know where
the little hidden area,
It is. It is. I don't know if they prefer rat stench.
Just popped over to the actual chat.
Yeah, you got to see. There's a ton of people in there. Probably people that you know over here.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Thanks for showing up.
I know. Everybody's been really excited to see you on here.
But
we've been excited to get you on here.
I see Jamie's comment. Temperament similar to the balls. Yes, but kind of not really, if that makes sense. I mean, yes, as far as for the most part, they're chill. At first, it freaked me out because they'd fly out of the cage, kind of like some of my other species or bigger stuff. But it was more out of curiosity. They're extremely active, I've noticed. They're still super chill, but their body language is a bit different. And this is just from what I've noticed with my pair, right? But a lot of people have also said this, is they're just very inquisitive. They're going to pop right out. But for the most part, it's just to be like, what's going on? What are you doing? What am I doing? Where am I going? What's out here?
And Fred wants to know again what species that is.
Angolan python, or python enchete. I believe that's the correct pronunciation. Somebody can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
Mike said he can get a breeder barbecue scheduled. That sounds great, Mike. We didn't get to go last year.
Bro, let's do it, except for let's do it at a fishing spot this year.
Genius.
We can all be fishing while we're bullshitting about the snakes and eating some good grub.
Genius.
I like it. Mm-hmm.
Oh. So of all of your different things that you keep, well, first, we should probably have you share all the different things that you keep, because there might be someone in here who's never met you before.
Oh, man. So currently, we're talking currently keep, right?
Yes, currently keep right now.
Green tree pythons, Burmese pythons, ball pythons, Angolan pythons. I have my blood. I've got my corn. We've got a group of king snakes. And I think that covers it.
Out of all of those, what is your easiest one to take care of? Simplest.
Oh, man. It's really hard to say. The Angolans are super easy, right? The blood's easy until she gets dirty, and then it's like freaking nuclear bomb went off in that cage. My green tree's really easy. Granted, I only have my one adult, so I feel like I'm kind of biased there, right? Because I have a lot of Burms. I got a lot of balls. I only have the one pair of Angolans. I've got my one blood. I've got my one adult female green tree, if we're not including the new neonates, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard. I guess I'll go with the green tree, because honestly, all I got to do is spray her and feed her and look at her, and then clean her every once in a while when she decides to go to the bathroom or shed.
Doesn't get much easier than that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, honestly.
No, just not. That's now watching behind you. You can see little heads peeking every now and then.
Oh, yeah. Once I'm in here for any period of time, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to see all these Burms popping up and doing some weird, stupid shit, trying to get my attention.
It was the one in the top closest to you. All of a sudden was hanging out. Yep, right there.
That one?
No, down one. That one.
Gizmo. Yeah, he's an attention whore.
Angel says your room looks great there.
Thank you, man. I'm so close to done. Those that have seen it know that this is completely different than normal. I just got done pretty much tearing this entire room apart and remodeling it. I still have a few things to do, but there's only so many hours in a day. And I'm like, I had to get it put back together because I got a lot of stuff breeding and laying. I didn't want to disturb them any longer. I figured I'd give it a couple week break to finish it out so I'm not really bugging the animals.
Yep, that makes sense.
But yeah, just a few weeks ago, I tore this entire wall out, re-insulated it, drywalled it, mudded, painted the whole entire room, ceiling, all 4 walls, everything, multiple coats, new light fixtures, new attic access, new fans, new smart switches and timers. Only thing left is I need to trim around one of the doors, trim around the attic access, and replace the carpet.
That is a complete remodel.
Yeah,
just a few things.
So
more than having a rat rack build itself in the night, you probably wish that could just be done in the night.
Yeah, there was about 2 weeks of me in here every day after work and before work till 2-3 in the morning trying to get it done.
So I was talking to Ro earlier, and he said that he has something from you. Is it a berm from you?
Aro's got a few things from me, but yeah, he has an albino berm from me.
Yeah, so he was talking about some kind of pied something. Now I can't remember.
Pied berm.
Oh, he wants to see the pied berm.
Yes.
He said, "Ask."
I did see that. Okay, yeah, I'll pull her out. She's right here. Come here, sweetie. Hi. Come on.
At what point do they become a 2-person snake?
So our rule is generally anything over 10 feet, we have a second person in the room for. I will be honest, I don't always follow my rule, and I don't recommend that, but I will say this, when I'm in here, if I pull anything out that's over 10 feet, Amanda's already in the other room. She's listening. She can watch me on the camera. She knows if anything happens. So that is the only reason I pull stuff in here out over 10 feet. If somebody's not directly in the room, I guarantee you my better half is in the other room and she already knows I'm pulling him out and watching. So this is my pied berm, or the visual at least. I also have heads.
Oh, I need to make you bigger. Hold on. I just get so excited that I forget to do things like this. Look at that.
So this
Angel says he's also only 2 minutes away if you ever need a rescue.
Exactly. So I got a good support system, and
sure do.
I work with these snakes a lot. And if she'd chill so the camera can focus.
She doesn't want to. She knows it's her moment to shine.
Yeah, maybe if I back up and kick the chair out of the way for you guys.
She's gorgeous.
But she's still got some growing to do. I'm hoping, she's got the age. She's a little smaller, but I'm hoping maybe by this fall she might be up to that, 8-10 foot mark and she's got the proper age at that point. So maybe we can see her on a clutch of eggs this fall. Maybe not. We'll see. I don't like to push my berms. I'll feed them good and steady and consistent, but I don't power feed by any means.
She's gorgeous. There's a couple questions for you in the chat. Billy wants to know if you have a power backup for your setup. If the power goes out.
Yes, we got a generator out back. So God forbid anything happens, we've got one out back. If that fails, I can go right down the street and get another generator.
And then the Python portal has a question for you too. They said, what's the biggest species you keep in a rack system?
Well, that's a loaded question, to be honest, because I'll grow berms out in a rack system. Are you talking about like full size adult that I would keep in a rack system?
Well, it's a 2-part question. What's the biggest species you keep in a rack system? And besides Burmese, what do you keep in the larger enclosures? Not sure if anyone has asked yet.
So as far as the rack systems, I'll grow anything out in a rack system that does well in a rack system. right? Certain things don't do well. Like green tree neonates, I think, are great in a rack system. I mean, I've seen adults in a rack system. I can't say that. Tucker's got adult racks, but I personally keep my adult green tree in a PVC. That's just how I like it. They do good. I just don't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't keep an adult blood in any of my racks, maybe if I had bigger racks. So my biggest rack is the 70 series Freedom Breeder. I don't know if you can tell the difference between those two racks back there. We've got the 5040 ARS hybrid, and then there's a 70 series Freedom Breeder, right? So I'll grow the Burms out in there. I grew my blood out in there. But once they reach a certain size, they go to 4 foots and then to the bigger PVC cages. As far as what's in the PVC cages, the bottom one over here is my corn snake that's almost as old as I am. Then all of these are Burms up until the top. And then that is my green tree Miss McGonagall. And then all of those are Burms.
And now you have another question. See, this is when it gets exciting, when there's lots of questions coming in. Mike wants to know what's the worst place you've ever been bitten. because he knows.
I know exactly. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
I've been bitten where every man doesn't want to be bitten.
Oh, geez.
But with that said, let's complete this answer, though. That was from Mike's retic.
Oh, see.
My Burms wouldn't think about doing that.
And the Python portal said that answers their question, and thank you.
Oh, nice. I just saw the Python portal. My blood is actually a T negative albino matrix from Dillon Hines Mega Matrix line.
We know nothing about blood pythons besides the fact that they look amazing.
She's pretty cool. She's a little spicy.
Yeah, that's what we've heard that.
She handles great. She'll definitely punk you. She'll make you think she's gonna get you real good. She did when she was younger, but honestly, I just love watching her. She's a cool snake. She's pretty good size at this point. I think she's like, I don't know, 5 foot.
And you have her just for a pet?
Yep. I was gonna breed them, but honestly, I think if I'm gonna do that, I want to like maybe get into some of the stormtrooper stuff or the pied stuff.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Python portal says theirs is from Nerd.
Sweet. No, they're cool. Definitely, like, it's not a main focus. I don't know. I can't stay with just one species. To me, and this is more power to anybody who does keep one species. I cannot focus on just one species. I can't. I like them. I like them all. Yeah. I want more. I need
too much cool stuff.
Oh, dude, I got a whole list of species that at least triples what I have in this room. I've also kept a lot of other species that are no longer with me. We've cut back a lot the last couple of years to really focus on some higher end projects and just the true passion projects. I don't know. Not that I don't love any of the ones we had. I still love them. I'm glad they're all in amazing homes, but I'd just rather focus on the stuff that I'm working with now. And there's a few things I would like to add and really focus on those as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we understand that.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just have the ball pythons and our king snakes, but our king snakes are not for breeding. They're just for hanging out. But with the ball pythons, we went a little bit crazy, as many people do. And now we have to cut back what we have. Refocus what we have.
I feel like every breeder, I think, has to do that every couple of years, because you're going to breed them and then you're going to get the stuff you want or need, from those clutches. And it sucks to say, but at some point, you're not going to be breeding those single genes or single hets or whatever. And they still have their place and they're still really good. And honestly, I think it's a great point if you can get healthy breeders, right? For that matter, you need to trust who you're buying them from. But it's a great starting point for others to also get ahead in a certain project or to make certain hets or double hets or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, almost everything we started with hets. The only visuals I bought ball python wise was clowns.
Yeah. Yeah, when we got in, it was obviously a couple of years ago, and it was when we had to buy everything.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
That's how I made my first pides, hypos, and puzzles.
Yeah.
It was all from hets.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. And it's going, what's nice now is finally the ones that we got at the beginning are finally big enough that they could go this season.
Yeah, we just had our first locks with the het sunsets. So
Nice.
Little sneaky ones. There.
Hopefully she'll get up to that 10 to 14 millimeter range here pretty quick now.
Yeah.
The ultrasound machine has changed things for us. That's been amazing.
That's a game changer for us.
Oh, heck yeah. I honestly, I need to use mine more. I'm horrible. I've got this awesome piece of equipment laying here and don't use it as much as I should.
I get that too. If we could get like on a schedule where we did it like every Sunday with the ones that needed it,
yeah,
then I think we'd be better at doing it. But
yeah, it definitely has a learning curve.
Oh yeah,
for the first couple of goes.
For us. At
so
least for
I made
us.
myself a chart this year with all my breeding females, and then I put like a bunch of columns next to it. And I've been trying to make a point to do it every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the female. Like some of the girls I know, they laid late last year. I'm up until about now, there was no point to even try to ultrasound them because they're still building up, right?
Yeah.
But I've been trying to do like every 2-3 weeks. I'll be honest, I'm nowhere near an exact date kind of guy. It's gonna can't do it today. I'll do it in like 3 days when I get some time, and then I'll do it.
Absolutely.
Morphforge wants to know. They said, speaking of projects on the ball python side, what is your main project path?
Puzzle the world.
Yeah. Do you have some puzzles you can show us?
I have got a few visuals. Yeah, like I said, a lot of my stuff is still hets and double hets.
Hey, there is nothing wrong with a wonderful het.
This was the first visual we made. This is our Mojave puzzle girl.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. See, I get so excited I forget to make you big. Here you go.
Oh, it's all good. So this is just Mojave puzzle. Honestly, really love what the puzzle stuff does. Like Mojave, not an impressive gene by itself. Let's be real. Like it's not a sought after gene whatsoever. A lot of people, don't want them for whatever reason are making bells. But honestly, the bell complex stuff goes so good with puzzle stuff. And I love this girl. She's freaking awesome. Hopefully we'll see her on a clutch of eggs at some point, maybe later this season. We'll see.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because now that I'm thinking about it, most of our puzzle stuff is
in the bell
complex, or at least has a gene from it.
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of the bell complex stuff does great with puzzle. I don't know if he's breeding. I think I have him in with her. Oh, they're done. Yes, I know. Come here, buddy. Yeah, we're kind of a We'll see if he'll actually cooperate. This was the first spot nose puzzle that we made. We'll see. He's kind of a shy little jerk.
He's doing what ball pythons do best.
Yeah, exactly. He likes to stay curled up.
Oh yeah, that looks nice.
Which is really weird.
Dark.
I wish he would
nice.
show off his.
Look at him.
Boy, that's gorgeous.
There we go. There we go. So that is spot nose puzzle.
It's crazy.
And we made another boy that we got rid of because I didn't need him. He's done with her. Oh, you're good, buddy. And then we made, I just redid this whole rack, so bear with me. Where is we made another spot nose puzzle late last season, and this girl looks a lot different. It's pretty interesting for being the same genes at play.
Yeah.
She's
But-
way later.
Yeah.
Yeah, way different head stamp too. They're
She has
both
like a-
also pos het hypo,
Face.
so I'm pretty positive she's going to prove pos het hypo.
Yep, get some hypo puzzles.
Mm.
Yep. So hopefully we'll hit our first double visuals this year. I've got a GHI yellow belly double het hypo puzzle that's been breeding to one of my double het hypo puzzle girls, and she's getting pretty close. And then same clutch. We'll see if he wants to bite me today. He probably does. He wakes up and uses violence.
Yep,
Oh yeah. Some of them like to do that.
you do. Yeah, it is quite nice. You don't have to worry about asking the question, is a puzzle going to eat?
Yeah, right?
True.
So this is just a single gene puzzle. He's also either pos het clown or pos het hypo. I need to get him shed tested. So he was from the dual sired clutch. So I don't know. He's definitely obviously
Oh,
visual
okay.
puzzle, but he's either pos het hypo or he's pos het clown.
Has anybody done a puzzle clown yet?
Yep. So I believe the guy's name was Uno. Already made the puzzle clown overseas. There's a few other puzzle clowns. It's a lot of people either they love it or they hate it. Personally, I absolutely love it. I think it has a ton of potential. The original puzzle clown was really awesome. Since then, a lot of the things people have said are puzzle clown, I honestly don't think they're puzzle clown. It might be clown het puzzle, and that's why it looks a little funky or whatever. But the actual puzzle clowns I've seen, for the most part, are all really cool. I think it's just going to take a certain direction. I think you're going to have to find what already messes with the genetic black back of clown, what already messes with that pattern and color, then add the puzzle to it, right? Because puzzle as a recessive is fairly easily taken over, right? So, and clown being a very strong genetic black back type animal, I think we need to find the right combinations that already interfere and mess with the clown, and then take puzzle into that. And that's when I think we're going to see the coolest reactions. That's just my opinion on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong and wasting my time, but I'll tell you in a couple years because I'm already shooting for a whole bunch of puzzle clown stuff.
Good
Perfect.
job, you.
So I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion on the project. I think there's a ton of potential. So that's a long way of saying my main focus is puzzle, but I want to get hypo, DG, and clown all into puzzle stuff. So everything I have right now, I kind of went the route because, you know, I'm not a baller. I still work a day job and I'm on the grind all the time, right? And like I said, a lot of my stuff's hets or double hets. So I've got like double het puzzle clown, DG het hypo stuff, but everything, you know, et cetera, double het hypo puzzle, blah, blah, blah. I could go on, but it all centers back around the puzzle stuff. So the way I've worked it is I can make, you know, visual puzzles that are also het clown or het hypo or double het hypo clown puzzles or this or that, right? So that's the way I've been trying to work the project, is how can I make visuals that are het or double het for the others that I don't already have in the project, and then get those choice codoms in the mix and then just work from there.
And that's the exact way you got to do it. Because, I mean, even if you were a giant baller with, you know, tons of extra cash, there's not a bunch of people that have that stuff available to buy anyway.
Exactly. You're not going to just go find a bunch of double het DG puzzles and this and that. You know, most of the time you got to make that stuff, especially the stuff with the better codoms in it. Most people are holding that back. So, you know, and a lot of the stuff I want, I kind of got to make my own because, you know, if I could find it, it's got a gene I don't want in that project or, you know, this or that. Like, I don't know. I like making my own hets and double hets and just working from there. It's definitely a slower route, but again, you know, most of the stuff you can't even find if you could or wanted to.
Right. And then the stuff you do find, like you said, is usually got like yellow belly in it, and you already have yellow belly, so you're not going to want an ivory
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to make ivory puzzle clowns. That doesn't do me
No.
any good. You know?
Yeah, no, it doesn't do you any good.
Perfect
That's what we
example,
just
because my male is a yellow belly double het puzzle clown, or one of them.
see.
So, you
Well,
know,
that's what we discovered. Like we have Kurt really wanted to get into puzzle when we started, and so we have your bamboo. What is she? Just a bamboo het puzzle?
She's a pastel bamboo.
She's a pastel bamboo
Okay.
het puzzle. And then we got our male, and then we thought about it, and then realized that that doesn't work together.
Yeah, that's not going to
They'd
work.
make white snakes.
oh yeah, both complex.
Yeah,
Although
because
the
he's a special.
He's a special. Yeah.
the bamboozles are pretty dope.
Yeah, that was I really wanted bamboo. I didn't realize what it would look like once it's visual.
Yeah,
I just really like the base gene of bamboo.
Yeah.
yeah.
But now we have a super pastel visual puzzle male. We just have to wait for him to get bigger. So
Nice.
they'll get to go
Maybe this
together
fall.
someday. Yeah. They'll get to go together, and the other male will have to see what he gets to do.
Heck yeah.
Who knows?
No, I'm really hoping with all these like double hets and like het to, or visual to opposite het pairings I have this year. I'm really hoping we can see our first double visuals, and then really hoping I can hit like some combo clowns that are het puzzles, and then vice versa, you know, combo puzzles that are het clown or het DG, and then hold those back.
Yeah, we'll be a couple years behind you in that regard, because we'll have to get some more visuals, and then
that's if I hit the odds. I technically only have the one breeder visual male and female, and then the others are hatchlings. And then, like I said, I could have had more, but I sold, I think, three.
And so begins the fun game of the odds.
Yep.
It's worth it.
Fingers crossed. We'll see. I don't know. The next clutch due is a het puzzle female. So
That's exciting. Fingers crossed.
see. It seems like my years seem to now just always start with a berm clutch and then a puzzle clutch.
That's an exciting way to
you
start your
can't
year.
complain about that.
Yeah. I'm
No.
I'm just glad she gave me that berm clutch was fertile eggs this year. The last couple years I've tried to breed her. She's given me, first year was all slugs. Last year she didn't go at all. And then finally this year she went with a healthy clutch. So I'm praying that could be some really awesome stuff. The TK caramel stuff is technically a completely unproven line of caramel. So we don't know. It doesn't look like Gulf Coast. Looks similar to Wayline, but not quite. It's a bit more highlighter versus contrasty, if that makes sense, as far as like the T positive caramel stuff. So we don't know. I don't know if Travis is in here, saw the link or not, but that's Travis's line. The original female or matriarch was a visual wild caught animal that was imported. That was bred, made the hets. The hets are produced, my hets and Travis's couple visuals. And as far as I know, I'm the only other person actively pursuing that project at the moment. So
hopefully it hits.
Did he say hypo? Yeah, I love hypo.
So does Ashley.
Yeah.
So do we.
Hypo's the shit, especially when you get like blackhead in the mix or like gravel stuff. Or this year we hit what I believe to be super blackhead, red gene, hypo. It's either pastel or super pastel. I'm pretty sure it's the double super. I'm pretty sure it's super pastel, super blackhead, red gene, hypo. Yeah, that's a mouthful. She's been a slow starter, but she's pretty freaking dope.
Yeah, she's probably beautiful.
Yeah, I can pull her out. She, like I said, she was a slow starter. Now she's slamming food, but
yeah, it seems well, that's with our few clutches we've had. The experience has been the ones that are the most beautiful are the slow starters.
yeah.
I think it's like a law.
Yeah, then you're like,
You have to
come
wait for
on,
them.
get off the scrabble bus.
It's true.
Oh yeah, gotta making babies.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just
So
Which
someday.
one is it?
That one. Look at that.
Really clean.
hopefully she's coming on. I got the screen kind of tilted down, so I'm getting a blurred image. So just tell me if she's actually focused.
Here she is. Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that. Everybody likes her.
She's a cool girl. We'll see what she proves out to be. She's staying here regardless, so I'm not that worried about it.
Yep. Nope. Everybody in the chat likes her.
But honestly, the blackhead pastel stuff is hypo stuff is actually pretty dope as adults. Like, I'm not a huge pastel fan. I think it belongs, in certain combos, not in other combos.
Mhm.
But the adults are just absolutely beautiful. So here's the mom. This is blackhead pastel, orange ghost or hypo. That's just a beautiful animal for,
Yeah.
2,000 grams or give or take or whatever. Just vibrant, beautiful, amazing little heads. And then when you get the red gene in the mix, which is the sire. Oh, I got to pull him up from the top. 1 second. Hopefully he's not in shed. But it adds just this beautiful blushing with the black head and the hypo. Oh, you just shed. Sweet. What's up, buddy?
Even better.
So hopefully the camera picks it up, but you just get these beautiful, it's more pinkish through all the blushing.
Yeah, he looks nice too. Freshly shed, even better.
Yep. So these guys had their first clutch late last season. Wasn't too long ago, a couple months ago. There you go, buddy.
Ashley says blackhead and hypo is a must. That maybe that gives us a purpose for.
Oh yeah, even like here, there's some other stuff from that clutch.
Yeah, he was not going to go till next year anyway.
No, our blackheads.
Yeah, he's still too small.
Yeah, yeah. We have a couple black. We have two, a blackhead female and a male, right?
You just have the male.
Oh, what about Calypso?
So you can see with and without pastel, some blackhead hypo hatchling stuff.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Someday maybe we'll have some hypo babies.
Yeah. So you've been doing this for how many years at this point, Dillon?
I think we're going on 7 years. So about
And
6.5 years.
Is it your goal to do this full time, or is this always going to kind of be like a secondary thing?
No, I would love to do this full time, but my end goal is actually to open a zoo locally, local reptile zoo.
Cool.
That's always been my end goal. I'll still constantly breed because I love the projects. I'm obsessed with just basically it's living artwork, right? So to me, I love the breeding aspect of like, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a morph. It's just fun to play with the genetic side of stuff, right? But I just love that side of it. So I'll always breed, but my end goal is I want to open up a local reptile zoo. Washington only has one reptile zoo. I'm sorry if the owner or, employees are in the comments, sorry, not sorry kind of situation. Your place sucks. It's a really shitty example for us in the Northwest as a reptile zoo. And if anything, you should sell me all those animals and I'll do it better. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound like that. That's not typically my MO or personality. It just makes me really sad. The last time I was there, I was very, very upset leaving the place. We'll just kind of leave it at that. I don't like to bash people. But I just think us in the Northwest, with all of our reptile lovers that we have up here, we can do far better and we can help educate the community. We can be in a more public space. put a better message out there, really educate people, have people going around. When I was there was nobody walking around teaching anybody. Half of their info things were wrong. I had keys on my hip to almost all their venomous, and these guys can get their venomous permits and were grandfathered in Washington, but I can't get my permits. That's complete bullshit. Again, pardon my language and frankness, but I just think we can do way better. And I would like to do that for the community and to help teach these kids and parents alike that even these giant snakes aren't anything to be scared of. Should you respect them? Abso-fucking-lutely. But you shouldn't be scared of something just because you don't understand it. And that's fine if you are, but let me help you understand it.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
The information is king.
Yeah, exactly. So with all the misinformation, the lack of a representative, so to speak, publicly, besides, you got the Woodland Park Zoo and Point Defiance, which is right down the street from us, right?
Yeah.
Pretty small reptile sections.
Yeah.
Very small.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily people out there really teaching about the animals all the time. And then we have the one reptile zoo, and you already heard my opinion on that, and I could go way deeper. I just refuse to.
Yeah, the last time we drove by there, it was looking pretty run down.
Yeah.
They've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. So I believe it was the original owner had it, sold it to his son, and then I think somebody else bought it. I've offered to buy their Green Annie like 5 times. Every time I either just get laughed at by the employee who's there for the day or, told no. But let me just share this, because like I said, I don't like to down talk stuff, right? But these are just a few things that made me really upset when I was there. The Green Annie, who's huge. I mean, she's bigger than Carmela. She was maybe in a 4x2x2 all acrylic cage that literally she was touching all 4 sides of. It was full of water. There was no land area, no filtration. It was literally just like a clear acrylic tank. She was completely smushed, no room to move, nothing locked in there, no land, just water, nothing, just water. That's a big, beautiful animal. I don't know who all is familiar with Green Annies in the chat, but it takes a long time for a female Green Annie to get that size. And that's how you're going to portray that animal? On top of that, it was a beautiful sunny day when I was there. They have a huge outdoor area that's made just for their sulcatas and tortoises to run around. Why were both big 80-pound plus sulcatas sitting inside on the tortoise table? And then right across from that tortoise table was some redfoots. The redfoot was flipped over, and I tried to get the chick's attention, but she was too busy with her legs kicked on her desk texting that I actually reached into the tortoise table and flipped the redfoot myself because I was tired of trying. Rhino iguana, and I think it was a black throat or peach throat, one or the other, was on plain newspaper, which is fine. But I mean, you didn't clean that thing for 4 or 5 weeks at least. I mean, it was disgusting. They had a giant retic on in an all 4 glass-sided enclosure that was tall as hell. So there's no way it was at an adequate temperature, but with how high up the heat lamp was. And this big girl had a freaking at least foot long to 16 inches plus thing of stitches going down her side. Why is that girl even on display? She should be in the back in a private area being healed and getting her antibiotics and fed until she's good as new.
Right.
But you're going to put her in a glass enclosure on all 4 sides. It's not adequate humidity, not adequate temperature. It's making her feel wide exposed. And you're going to put that on display because that's what we want publicly. You know what I mean? Just those things, just that. And I could keep going. Really, really hit deep. And I'm like, nope, this has got to change.
I agree with that. That's
yeah, we've never been there, and part of it's because we've heard such terrible things. So.
Oh, when I was a kid, I loved it. It was awesome, And then
they would come to the schools and stuff. I remember that,
yeah. And just the last couple times, I don't know. I just can't do it.
Yeah, actually, this is a local reptile zoo.
Yeah, pretty much like you said, the only one.
The only one.
Yep. And yes, Ashley, I also got a bunch of clown stuff too.
Yeah. Ashley was making sure. She asked if we had any. She said, "You don't have any hypo?" We have hypo. I just had never thought about working blackhead into hypo, and we have these two blackheads. We have a male and a female that have nothing to do.
We don't,
Now they do.
have anything lined up for them.
Now they can have something lined up with them because
What? Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Do some hypo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other portion of that is we don't have a whole ton of visual hypo stuff.
But
either.
did you see what else Ashley said?
No.
She said, "Oh, I definitely have something for you this year. We'll see if she goes." As my witness,
Oh,
we're
nice.
getting a blackhead hypo het clown this year.
Is that
Said
girl,
he's still in.
your blackhead girl, ready to go?
You talking to Ashley
No, you.
or us?
Mm,
Not quite yet.
probably next year.
She's probably early next year, yeah. So she is a super inchy phantom blackhead.
Okay.
She's pretty.
Okay. The Enchy blackhead stuff, especially the Enchy blackhead hypo stuff, is dope too.
Yeah, she'll be ready next year. She's not there yet, but
Yeah.
she's.
I was gonna
she's
say
pretty.
that boy I just showed you ain't got nothing to do.
There she is.
She's all
Turn on
balled
the light
up
for
as
you.
well.
I don't know if I can turn
Nice.
on my light.
See if I
See
can
her?
get her. Pop her head out.
There she is.
Yeah.
This is
I love the
Calypso.
blackhead stuff.
I
That's
was pumped too,
Calypso?
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's the name of the girl that just laid the Burm eggs.
Really?
Yeah, it's Hades and Calypso.
Yeah, she's always been really nice looking. She
Yes.
hasn't changed color at all since
No. She's
The
just
darks
pretty.
have gotten a little bit darker, but nothing else has faded.
Get us off
Nice.
this big screen.
She's probably 800 grams, somewhere around there.
She is. She's.
Yeah,
pretty.
see, Ashley knows what's up. And she blackhead hypo is phenomenal. Especially if you get like yellow belly or gravel or something in that yellow belly complex in the mix. That seems to really do good with the blackhead stuff.
We have plenty of that laying around.
Yeah.
Yep.
How would that
We
look with
should.
some high OD? That would be nice.
Oh yeah. I'm excited. My GHI Mojave Super Gravel should be ready to go really soon. If not already. I tried him the other day. I don't want to even check on him yet, though.
No.
I just don't want to let him do his thing. And then I picked up a Enchy Freeway Lesser Clown, both from MJ, that I can't wait till that girl gets up to breeding size. She's still really small. I got a couple years, but that's going to be dope. Just that whole complex. And then especially if I can get the gravel and asphalt together to make, the pavement stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's always
Yeah,
you got like pavement, dirt road, highway, freeway,
Parkway.
Yellow brick road.
parkway. Yeah.
Yeah. It just goes on and on and on and on.
But they're so beautiful.
Right.
I went a little crazy into the freeway highway stuff, so we have to downsize some of that, but not all of it.
Oh man, I love the whole
I went a little
whole
crazy.
complex.
We'll get out one. He's my favorite, one of my favorites. I can't say favorite because
Yeah, but it's her favorite one.
no, well, that's a different one. This guy doesn't look as bright. Right
It's all right. We all have like our one favorite, but for 5 different things.
This is our super orange dream highway male.
I don't have
He's
this
not super
larger.
bright right now. He's getting ready to go into shed, so now he just looks like a banana, but he's not a banana.
Yeah. No, I can see it.
Hopefully
Maybe
he'll
turn the
have
light
some
off.
babies this year. No, you can see him. The camera just doesn't want to focus on him. There he is.
Nice.
No, but I have my other favorite. That's what you were talking about, Kai.
That one is a banana.
He is a banana. He's beautiful.
Banana highway or freeway?
No,
he's not there.
just a normal.
Oh,
just
I
a
got you.
banana.
I got you.
He can make us some stuff.
Yeah, he could be asphalt
He's either asphalt or yellow.
or yellow belly. Haven't tested it.
He'll be my last one after, and then I'll be done. But he's our banana inchy cinnamon. Can make us little.
Oh heck yeah. I love the
Beautiful
banana
babies.
Enchy stuff. I don't care if it's like,
Yeah.
played out or whatever in some people's regard. Yeah, banana Enchy stuff will always be killer to me.
He is
Same
so
as like
pretty.
the banana spot nose stuff, or especially
Yeah.
banana with like sugar and stuff. Shoot, you get all those in the mix. You got me there.
Yeah, we put him with our pastel super stripe. We'll see.
Oh heck yeah.
The two of them do together.
Yeah, he's actually the only female maker we have.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice too.
Dang. I was hoping my one
Right.
breeder banana girl would go this last year, but I'm pretty sure she reabsorbed on me. I got a banana or coral glow het clown from Mike, actually, Ball Python Boulevard. Man, I was hoping she was going to go. I thought she was right there, and then out of nowhere, she just started getting smaller and eating. So
Yeah. Stan has an exciting snake. He said he has a blackhead cinnamon carnage nanny het clown female from Fred and AJ.
The Carney.
Oh, heck yeah. Love Fred
That's
and
a
AJ
good
too.
one, Stan.
Those are cool
Mhm.
dudes.
They are. So you said that you have other species you want to get into. What's one of them that you want to get into?
Snakes or non-snakes?
Anything.
As far as snakes, at least one that's definitely on the top of my list, Sanzinia. Sanzinia and green anacondas. That's definitely up there. I'd like to mess around with, like, maybe not to breed, but I'd like a scrub. Like if I can find like a really big bloodline of scrub, it'd be fun to get one and just mess around with. After listening to MJ and Stephen Cush talk about all the scrub stuff, I kind of just really want to interact and, learn them.
For those of us that don't know, what is that? I have no idea. Kurt might know.
I don't know.
I have no
Scrub
idea. What that
pythons.
is.
Scrub
Yeah.
python. It's an
Yeah.
Australian species of python, like the amethystine python. There's different localities, I believe.
Okay.
Is the term. Like the Moluccans, the Southerns, oh my God, I would not make MJ and Kush proud right now. I only listen to part of it. I just like to support them. I think Timors are in that list, or at least lumped sort of close. Barnecks, thank you.
Yep.
But yeah,
Miss
just
Arboreals has your back.
From what I believe, that amethystine were the largest of that group. But before I do I'd want to talk to Stephen Cush himself and probably wait till he produces something and then pick them up from him. I just think it'd be fun to mess with.
Yeah.
I don't think
it's not commonly done.
Oh, what's
in
up,
this
Lucid?
area.
I don't think Bolins are in that category.
I didn't know until a few weeks ago that you could own an anaconda. I saw a picture of one and I was like, that looks like a baby anaconda.
What? You know somebody who owns them?
I do?
Yeah, Donovan. He's got 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. Didn't know.
Yeah, Donovan's got, I believe, 3. Well, at least I know he has at least 3. Yeah, and then
Now
my
those
buddy
you need
Aaron
multiple
breeds
people.
green annies.
Multiple people to handle those snakes.
Yeah. What's funny is though they take so long to get any sort of real size to them.
Really?
Yeah, and it's hilarious because a lot of people think they're way bigger than they are. They're not actually. I mean, I'm not saying they're not giants. They're obviously giants, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people overestimate what they really are. I mean, most of like the big green annies I've seen are in the like 12 to 14 foot mark.
I thought it was really cool because it was a
But
picture
they're-
of
They're
a little baby
girthy,
anaconda in it was in its enclosure, but it was like in the water. And I was like, that looks like a baby anaconda. And I showed Kurt, I was like, look at this.
Have you
That's
seen
not
the
even possible.
positive albinos that
No.
Megan has?
No.
No.
Oh gosh, I gotta send you pictures later.
Yeah. Part of the reason that that stuff's really not on our radar is we couldn't have them even if we wanted to.
Yeah, remember, we can't own anything over 6 feet where we live.
Yeah, that's why you guys need to move south.
Become part of the brigade down there.
Yeah.
The circle of excellence.
The circle.
No,
of
I feel
excellence.
we got a few counties like that in Washington or city ordinances, like Seattle
Yeah,
city
yeah.
limits. You can't have anything over 8 feet in Seattle city limits. That's not King County. That's just Seattle city limits.
Wasn't that crazy that that's Seattle and we live out in the country and you can't have anything over 6 feet?
Yeah, that's
Be in the
ridiculous.
city.
That's ridiculous.
This cracks me up. So
No,
That's
and
what
then like down in Portland, I can display my Burms at the Portland Expo, but I cannot sell my Burms at the Portland Expo because they are legal to own or sell. I think it's Matanoma County, Portland's county. That whole county you can't.
yeah,
have. large
Well,
constrictors.
that's nice.
So it's ridiculous. It's hard to keep up with all of it. I try to do my best, especially the states that outright ban them, because there's a lot of states I can't ship to because Burms aren't allowed. And I still have people who will send me morph market inquiries and be like, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, bullshit, you didn't know. You just thought I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, it's just
so
like
if you're out there and you know you're in a state that bans Burms, do not try to hit my DMs or morph market. I will tell you no.
Yeah, move first and then write.
Yeah, exactly. And if you did move, like, don't try to pull that whole "I moved to New Jersey, but I really still live in New York" BS, because none of us are that stupid.
No. No.
Yeah.
Maybe some of us. But.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, they are. We got
Well,
more
for now,
theories that
we
say
will-
differently.
For now, we'll just get to enjoy yours because they're
No,
beautiful.
They're amazing animals. I have a special place in my heart, especially for the Burms. Like, I hate to say it, but if I had to choose to only keep one species, it not even a question in my mind, it would be the Burms.
Yeah.
Everything else would go in a heartbeat. As much as it would suck, I would keep Burms.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna get Wiz to have a berm eventually, right?
Yeah, Wiz
just see you
wants
in the
one.
chat.
Apparently, quite a few of those guys want them. I told them when they're ready, hit me up. Like,
There
they
you go.
really are amazing animals. I might be a little biased, right? But I will die on this hill that out of all of the large constrictors, they are the best for most people.
New York.
And I love all the other large constrictors, don't get me wrong. But for the vast majority of keepers out there, in my opinion, a Burmese python is the best large constrictor to keep in captivity for the vast majority.
Yeah.
I can go on a whole list of reason why, and I'm not saying you can't get the one-off animal who's an absolute dick, or the vice versa of the opposite species, which is the, couple animals that are amazing, whatever. But for the most part, Burmese pythons are extremely chill, extremely easy to work with, amazing personalities. Most people say that, oh, they're just big, lazy ball python. It's absolutely not true. Anybody who says that has definitely not owned more than one Burm, and definitely not for a long period of time.
Yeah. Do you have anything in there that you want to show before we go?
Oh, man.
Or something that you or several things, or we could just go on for a whole nother hour and you could just.
I'm on no time schedule. We can go as long as you guys want. I cleared the day to hang out with you guys and do whatever. If you have requests, just tell me. If anybody's out in the comments, you want to see something, I could show stuff off for freaking days. Okay. So I don't know.
The Python portal already said your blood python. LOL.
Oh man. Oh man. You want to just see me get bit, don't you?
That's probably. And Ashley says, can we see the GHI Mojave Super Gravel?
Okay.
And Ro wants to see the pied berm. You got all sorts of requests now.
Wait, RO, I pulled out the pied.
Ro must not have been here when you showed the pied berm. Or he just wants to see it again. Oh, and the Python portal says no, they don't want to see you get bit. So
yes. This is the GHI Mojave Super Gravel.
Yeah. Kurt says, but Ball Python Boulevard. Mike might want to see you get bit, but
he always wants to see me get bit.
Stop opening it. Look at that.
So he was way darker when he first hatched and got here. So he's definitely, got a bit lighter, but still a really cool combo.
Yeah.
I love Mojave. So does Kurt. It's probably a love-hate relationship, but we love it.
Yep. I really like how the dorsal is lightning bright on stuff.
Right. And then you guys got to see this girl because she's just dope. You're good, bud. This girl's really freaking sweet looking. This is Enchi Lesser Freeway Clown.
Ooh.
Hopefully she's popping up. I can't tell from that angle.
A little bit.
Oh man, I gotta kill this light. Maybe you guys can see her better and actually
The
see
cameras just
pattern.
never do them justice. Even ours. It's like,
No, it tends to flush out any pattern.
oh,
that's
now
in
you can
there.
see the
Oh, there you
pattern.
go.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't get it. I went and bought this like supposedly nice webcam and everything, and it seems to do worse than the old built-in one.
Same here.
Yeah,
We get it.
I find they're hit and miss, right? 4K,
Well,
8K, whatever now.
If anyone wants to see how truly beautiful this girl is, go check out my IG. This girl is absolutely phenomenal. I really wish her pattern would show up.
She's really
you can see
pretty.
it there.
Now you can see it. Very pretty.
So she's a really cool girl.
She is really cool.
Excited to see her, that's for sure.
Yeah, I like lesser and butter. And then I was like, oh, I'd like to have that in a male. And then I thought about it for a second. Went, well, that's probably not a good idea because then you're going to be spreading the bell complex everywhere.
See, oh man, so much stuff. Any other requests? Because I could just keep going.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we
Stan's
got
had some more puzzle stuff.
Stan said puzzle.
So I showed off the visuals that I
Yes.
here. I got a bunch of het stuff, but it's nothing like crazy visual. Lots of hats, double hats. I think a lot of the boys are breeding right now, though. Yeah, they're locked.
That's fine. Don't interrupt anybody.
Yeah, do not disturb the lock.
No, don't. Sometimes don't even look at them. You're definitely gonna roast
Hold on,
it.
we were talking. Oh, okay. Well, that's sweet. Well, never mind. I was gonna show the pastel highway het hypo, but apparently she's ovulating right now.
Oh well, yeah. Don't do that.
Nice.
Yeah. It's that time of year everything's finally starting to pop off. And
Billy
hypos locked with the GHI Mojave yellow belly.
Billy says, will you have any het puzzle stuff coming up for sale soon, or do you have any het puzzle stuff?
I have a visual puzzle that's actually my holdback female that I recently listed. She's up for sale currently. And then I think I have 2 or 3 hets. Well, POS het, 66% POS het stuff that I'm letting go, and 66% possible double het stuff I'm letting go. And then as far as soon, yes, soon, as in like 3+ months from now, once all these girls lay, I'll have a bunch of puzzle and double het and POS double het, triple het stuff available.
And Billy's local to like you, so
yeah, he's down.
He'll be down in the.
Which one's Billy in the comments?
Billy is Mr. Guaps.
Oh, okay.
Either way,
but he has a different name on Instagram. And Billy, you'll have to help us because I don't remember what your name is on Instagram off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but we got to know him through Ryan from Salish Serpents.
Oh shoot, yeah, I love Ryan.
Yep, us too. So, yeah.
Ryan's the homie.
He is.
And we'll have some het puzzle mail stuff up for sale.
Yeah, we have to.
We have to thin out our
Chili.
stuff. Chili and Joel. And
Yeah, that's right. So Billy, we might have some het puzzles.
if you're looking for mail,
if you need a boy, we say with sadness and happiness.
This is let me turn this light back on. This is Wayline Caramel, 66% het pied.
man, that's crazy.
That is.
So I love the Wayline stuff and the double visual of this. There's only been a few made, and it is absolutely insane.
That's amazing.
What does a snake like that cost to get into?
Couple thousand.
So not outrageous, but still a pretty hefty price tag.
Yeah, you're looking at the upper end of a couple thousand.
That's beautiful.
So luckily, this was a birthday present from Amanda last year.
Aww.
For me.
Great taste.
She
Great taste.
She takes care of the
absolutely.
rodents.
Well, she
Buys great
knew.
snakes.
So the thing is, it's more so good luck finding a way line.
Okay.
I've been waiting since Pikes came out for them, and I scored him like just so happenstance. We came across him listed and hit the dude up, and we were luckily able to work something out, and we got him. And Amanda helped cover a good portion of it for a birthday present. So that was freaking dope.
That's awesome.
But it's more so you'll see like Gulf Coast het pied stuff. I think there's some stuff already up there for pied pos het Gulf Coast or het Gulf Coast or visual Gulf Coast het pied or pos het pied. But the lines of Carmel and Burmese are not compatible. So it's not like, might be some hurt feelings out there, but it's not like Ultramel Monarch, which I can breed them together and still get visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Right, or something along those lines. We can go on a whole list of stuff. Yeah, it's not like that. They're both lines of Carmel. They're both technically T-positive albinos, but they are not compatible. If you breed two visuals together, you will make double heads, not visuals. So the way line, Gulf Coast kind of seemed to take off in the States. Sorry, I'm above the camera. Gulf Coast seemed to take off in the States. Wayline, absolutely beautiful, but far more rare and harder to find. A lot more deep, rich oranges, like a lot more, like it's like you took a Gulf Coast and you just cranked the saturation and contrast up, right? Whereas a Gulf Coast lines of Carmel are a lot more, they're very vibrant, nice purples and stuff. But they just don't have the saturation and contrast that a way line does. And to me, I love contrast, saturation, and just like aberrant pattern stuff and vibrancy, right? So contrast and pattern is what gets me. That's like my thing, I guess you could call it, right? So the way line is where it's at for me. And then that het TK or the TK Carmel stuff, whatever that ends up proving out as far as right now, it could be an entirely new line. Could prove out Wayline, could prove out compatible with Gulf Coast. We don't know. I don't think it's going to prove compatible with Gulf Coast just because of the couple visuals Travis has produced and I've seen. But we don't know yet until proven otherwise. So as far as we know right now, it's an unproven line. But regardless, it's going to be a new line because it's from a wild caught, original animal. And on top of that, they are absolutely gorgeous. So both of those, getting into pied, labyrinth, champagne, that's going to be the kind of tricks, I think moving forward. I think we're going to see some really, really amazing stuff in Burmese that's never been done yet. So speaking of champagne, I know this girl just shed because I just checked on her earlier. And
I was going to say, do you have any of the crazy champagne? And you're coming through.
So this is my younger female champagne.
Look at that.
She's a bit talkative. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but she's a sweetheart. Burms just like to talk.
You can tell you handle all of your snakes frequently too.
Yeah, I love these guys. I like to let them exercise, work with them, and let's just be real. At the end of the day, I'm a freaking snake nerd. I want to hang out with them. I know they could probably care less, but
no, I bet they love it.
These champagnes are just, there's something else. And I was honestly guilty when the champagne stuff first came out. I was like, why the hell am I going to buy multi-$1,000 recessive hypo? Fuck that. Like, no way, And then once I got my first champagne in person, I will never say that ever again. I can tell you firsthand, I could, let's see. I'm going to try this. I'm going to pull out a hypo. I have a hypo double het granite pied pos het albino off to my right here. Show you a direct comparison. This might take me a quick second because I'm also handling this champagne. But, oh yeah, you're hungry, aren't you? Not food time yet. Here, come hang out with me for a second. What's up? Hi. Yes, hi. Good afternoon. Yes. Hi, how are you?
Snake juggling.
Let's see. Okay,
We understand the food struggle. We've moved on to feeding most of our snakes every 2 weeks instead of every week. And now everything wants to eat us.
Okay. Wanted to throw stuff around, but
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
You see the difference between a hypo and a champagne?
Yes.
It's way more muted.
But if you look at the inside, the pattern of the hypo, fairly uniform color, right?
Yeah.
But now look inside. Oh, hi. Yes, I know. Hi, how you doing? Hold on. Now look
Give me a
inside.
kiss.
I'm going to set this hypo down just because it's quite a bit bigger of an animal. It's going to be hard to juggle. Yes, I know. Get me. There you go. Now look inside these saddles of a champagne. You see how washed out that is?
Yeah.
Yep.
So far more peachy, washed out center saddles. Just the head stamp's different. You get this waviness, these kind of like wonky dorsal. I don't know if you see like the stripage kind of right behind the neck,
Yeah.
right behind the head stamp, excuse me. And then let me pull out a bigger champagne. Maybe you can see a little bit better. Now she's definitely a bit brighter than Groot. Groot is my male champagne. He actually needs to move into one of these 4-foots after I get them finished, set up, and moved. Hi, bud. Okay. So this is Groot. He's my male champagne.
Hello, Groot.
But you see what I mean by that exaggerated blushing within the dorsal?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see some really amazing stuff here. You know, we've only seen a handful of champagne combos so far. Almost all of them were produced in the clutches that these guys came from. The albino champagne stuff is actually pretty sick. There's a few other combos that are really cool, but I think there's a ton of potential here that we're just not quite seeing yet.
Yeah, it's just getting started.
Yeah, all of these projects, you know, champagne pie, the Wayline pie stuff, all that stuff, it's all in its infancy. We still have a long ways to go and a lot of stuff to see. Most people are just now raising up double heads, triple heads, stuff like that, right?
Right.
Use a bigger hook.
And they are an animal that takes longer to get to maturity. So
yeah, it's not like I can't just breed in a year or two like a ball python. You know,
right?
It's 3, 4, sometimes 5 years. I mean, look, the het TK stuff I have. I raised those guys from babies. I want to say they're 5 years about that I've been raising them. And I just finally got the first fertile clutch from her. You know, not for lack of trying, but, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
Then you got like the labyrinth stuff, right? So, oh, hi. Yes, what's up, Aphrodite?
Blue Star
She's going into blue. Let's pull out Merlin. I know.
Blue Star Boreals is wondering if you want to show off one of the green tree Neos, or if you can show one of them off.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull this boy out just because I already have him going.
Oh, wow. Look at him. So big.
So this is Merlin, my hypo labyrinth, double head albino green.
Look at that.
Got a lot of cool snakes.
Yes, you
It's
do.
never a dull moment with the snake.
I can test this to anybody. Find me a better looking hypo labyrinth out there. And that's not to sound cocky. I got extremely, extremely lucky with this boy. He is the best hypo labyrinth I've ever seen, especially at his size.
It seems like they hold their color a lot better than some of the ball pythons do.
Yeah.
Some of them do, some of them don't. The cool thing about Burms, and this could either be a really cool thing or bite you in the butt, is they tend to have a lot of het influence.
Okay.
Right? So with that said, you know, I guarantee you he would not look as vibrant and cool if he was also het granite. You know what I mean? And that's nothing against it. That would technically be a more genetically powerful animal, right? But it would also make him not look anywhere as cool. because het granites tend to have this kind of, graininess, so to speak, depending on the genes that are also at play, right? But from what I've seen from like the labyrinth het granite stuff, it tends to have this like graininess, not as clean, doesn't hold their colors as well, etc. But that animal is also exceptionally line-bred animal from my man Aaron over at Black Diamond Herps, back before Georgia changed their laws. Sucks, but Aaron absolutely killed it with that stuff.
Yep. And since Angel's not here to say it, that's the importance of line breeding.
Oh, 100%.
Really pulls out those beautiful qualities.
100%. And there's another thing with Burms is, yes, we have a lot of genetics that we're now starting to get to work with, right? But the difference is a lot of Burm guys line breed. So even though we have these genes, we are line breeding them. You can tell the difference, like, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but look at the albino greens I produced last year versus a lot of other albino greens. And I'm not saying there's not other beautiful ones, but you can just go look at some of the same genetics. It doesn't have to be any of my productions, right? Look at some of the same genetics. You can look at them and be like, whoa, this one is obviously cleaner, more vibrant, different hues than this one. Some of it, I'm sure, is that some of these guys suck at taking pictures, but a lot of it is also these het influences, the line breeding, there's a lot that goes into it besides like how many codoms and recessives can we throw in a ball python, And don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of doing just that, okay? But with taste. And, it's not just like, let's see if we can get 8 gene freaking quad het, whatever.
Like Steven's here.
Oh, what's up,
Steven?
man? Drive safe. Yeah, the stripes on that boy are insane. I mean, I can pull out the female so you guys can see a single gene labyrinth. She's just going into blue, so she's not as her typical colors, right? If you guys want to see it, let me know. I know you asked about the Neo, so let me pull out one of the Neos.
Yeah, the terminology with the green trees is always fun. Because we didn't know much about green trees until Tucker came on.
And when Tucker came on, I just pretended I knew everything.
I'm going to sanitize really quick just because I was touching different species.
Absolutely. No, when we had Tucker on with Angel knew everything what Tucker was talking about. And then Kurt and I just pretended. We were just going to fake it till we made it. And then I looked up everything after we got off of the live.
I'm still learning between, a lot of Tucker because, Tucker's my brother from another. Me and him talk pretty much daily. Same as Angel,
Yeah.
All three of us talk quite often. But I've learned a lot from Tucker, a lot from some of the other guys. Started watching like the Chondro Bar Room, MJ's when he's got different Chondro guys on, just listening. And then I actually got the mother of this clutch from Tucker. And then oddly enough, it went back to Tucker's to breed. And then I was fortunate enough that Tucker gave me the opportunity to work with him and breed his designer male to my girl.
We're gonna make him big.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just get so excited. I forget.
We get so focused. We forgot to make you.
There you go. I just can't believe how tiny they are when they start out. Look at
I
that
don't know.
compared to your finger.
You guys see my finger?
Yeah.
So
it's insane. When Tucker does his posts, I always think that they're like big, and then now seeing them, no, they're tiny.
I really hope this camera starts to focus. This is getting ridiculous.
Ours does the same thing.
Well, sometimes it does great. Maybe I just need to like turn the camera off for 2 seconds and wipe it on you guys.
Do whatever you need to do. Stan said something about a face camera or something. Get a face cam. They work awesome.
You know what? Give me 2 seconds. Literally 2 seconds.
We'll
so you don't have to see my, belly as I wipe this freaking camera off.
I had to do the same thing to ours when I turned it on today. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. We're going to find out. Either way, you gave a really good effort. Yeah, a bit better. I love their eyes. Their eyes are so striking.
So this is, whoa, if it gets me. This is one of the red Neos that we got. Hopefully Tucker's in the chat. He could tell you the exact pairing. It's a Bill's male, I want to say 18, one of the Jaeger line animals bred to my original caught import, wild caught import, Miss McGonigal, who is a Biak. And that's what produced these babies. Tucker did all the work. I'm simply grateful to be along for the ride and have half the clutch to work with and grow up and hopefully get some really cool looking, I don't know if they'd be considered designer crosses or what, with the blood. Whatever you want to consider them, I don't really care. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. It's got some really cool lineage. I ended up with 3 red Neos and a yellow Neo. Let me see if pull out the yellow Neo.
Ken's here. Hello, Ken. Thanks for joining in.
Oh, well, you messed with your water, didn't you? All right. So here is the yellow Neo, which has this really cool blaze stripe going on. Don't know if that's focusing for you guys. I really hope it is.
It is a bit, yeah. They're so pretty.
So cool.
They are gorgeous. I just can't believe how tiny they are.
Yeah, these guys have only had their first couple meals. These guys are still extremely fresh.
Yeah, I was just going to say that explains why when, like Tucker says, they're so fragile and you have to raise them for a long while before you sell them. It makes a lot
I'm
of
learning.
sense.
I got little mini hooks from Angel.
Of
Any of you
course.
got any little mini chondro hooks? Hit up my man Angel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to use these little tiny guys for those in there. I don't use these on any other stuff. These are strictly just for the neonates.
Angel makes some amazing stuff.
So I got to do those because I'm so worried about, messing with their spine or their tail or anything like that. Let me see. I may or may not be able to do this without getting struck. We'll find out. She's usually pretty cool. But I think the mother, my original female, just got done shedding out. So if I can get this perch without her getting too angry at me, I can show you guys the mother of that clutch. Oh, looks like she's not. Nope, she didn't finish shedding. Well, I'm going to show you guys anyway because I already got her out. She is shedding though. You can see the shed literally.
Oh, yep. She's in the process.
Yeah, she is in the process, you guys.
Look
So
at that.
I'm going to put her right back, but that is the
Yep.
mom. She's absolutely awesome female. Love this girl to pieces.
She's beautiful.
That is Miss McGonigal. And for all of you out there wondering, yes, I am a total nerd.
Aren't we all? I feel like we are.
If you don't
We
like
just
if you don't like Harry Potter at least a little bit, I don't know if I can trust you. All right.
I feel like everybody okay, maybe not everybody, but I think any of the cool people are just a little bit nerdy in this. So
Right.
that's my take on it.
Lucid, yeah, she was an original wild caught import. So somebody had her, then Tucker got her, and then she's now lives with me. She's mine. Me and Tucker made a deal a few years back for her. She's been tested many, many, many times, always came back negative. She's just really cool female. I don't know. I just want to work with green trees. Tucker was going to let her go. I liked her. I got her. And then, like I said, the opportunity came up this last year to send her back down to Tucker's a couple hours south. And he bred her to his designer, and that's how we got the Neos. You
Ken
guys want to
says
see
he's a
some
lot of
bigger
it.
Burms while we're here? I mean,
Sure.
I can't pull out my giant girl, but I can pull out some of the 10-ish foot stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's see. I'm probably going to butcher this word, so forgive me. But Lucid Arboreal says, do the Biox, am I saying that right? Usually have so many white spots, though.
That's funny because as far as we know, she's just a Biak, but she could be
I'll learn.
she could be a cross. We have no idea. She was a wild caught female. I was always told, and Tucker was always told she's a Biak. She definitely has a lot of Biak what's the word I'm looking for? Physicalities. But even MJ, when MJ was in here and he got to meet her, when MJ came up and flew up here and we did his podcast, even he said that he's like, this is just a Biak. Like, to my best knowledge, she's just a Biak. I guess we'll see if those Neos come out even crazier than we think. You know, me and Tucker both have half the clutch, and so far, fingers crossed, knock on wood, they're all doing absolutely awesome. And they stay that way. But that's my long way of saying I can't really tell you. I'm still learning myself. I'm just anybody who knows me knows I'm gonna give you the 100% straight answer. Yeah, exactly. Fingers crossed. Let's see. What do you guys want to see? You want to see Gizmo, Piglet, Amelia? We could pull out Penelope. You know, everybody likes a big white snake, and this girl wants to be out, obviously, because she messed her paper all up after we got done cleaning her. Come here.
I love that yours also all have names.
Come here. Yeah, here's how I see it, right? And don't get me wrong, there's a couple I still need to name, right? But am I going to say, hey, get me that GHI Mojave Leopard Het Clown blah, blah, blah? Or am I going to say, yo, grab me Loki? I mean,
exactly.
Come on. It makes it like Penelope. Am I going to say, get me the ivory granite double het?
No.
No, just get me Penelope.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because we just went through writing all of our genetics into like Google Sheets and putting all the pairings in, and I'll be like, who the heck is so and so? Yeah, this needs a name next to it. I don't know who this is.
Okay, let's
Big
just
white
take
noodle.
this chair out of our way.
Look
So
at
this is
that.
Penelope.
Aw.
Got me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We
See,
got to put you on the full screen.
I fail at the navigating the computer today.
She is an ivory, which is a super hypo. Hypo is the only incomplete dominant gene or trait in Burmese pythons. Everything else is recessive. So she's a super hypo, visual granite, het albino, poshet green lab. And she could have proved het green lab this year or this last year. We just don't know because I hit a bunch of ivories. So
Ken says, wow, I agree. She looks like she's smiling. I think she's happy.
oh, Penelope, this girl's such a sweetheart.
She looks happy.
They're so chill. Yeah, yours are very chill.
Yeah. Yeah, I love to work with these guys. And Burms in general, for the most part, they're just such amazing animals.
Look at
Easy
her.
to work with, super chill.
Penelope.
As long as they know it's not food time and, you know, you've handled them. Let me turn off this ring light. I think that's like washing stuff out. Sorry, you guys.
No need to be sorry.
But Penelope's just awesome. She's a good girl. I'm pretty sure you guys can get a good reference of
Yeah.
her. She's still wrapped around my back.
Almost touching both sides of the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got to be, I don't know, 11-ish feet. Something like
She's
that.
beautiful.
I'd be honest, everybody asks me, they're like, well, how long are they? How much do they weigh? I'll give you a rough. When they stretch out, how far does it go past these 8-foot cages? You know, like, and I don't weigh them. You know, I give you a rough, like, oh, they weigh roughly this much, or, you know.
That was gonna be my next question. What would you estimate the weight on that?
The weight
at
on
her.
her?
Yeah.
Yeah. 25-ish pounds,
Okay.
give or take.
So it looks heavier than what it really is.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people say that. Like, when I pull out Carmela, you know, I really wish I could pull her out. She wasn't so gravid. Because she's a big, beautiful girl. She's 16, you know, everything is 16 foot, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh man, she's got to be like 250, 300 pounds. I'm like, no, she's like 80.
I would say if she was 250 or 300, that would be something just to take out.
Yeah. No, I mean, and they're strong as hell for sure, but
Yeah.
they don't weigh quite as much as people think they weigh. Granted, all of that weight is straight up muscle.
Yeah.
So it feels like more sometimes, you know, but. So here is the non-super version of Penelope. This is just a hypo granite.
Oh, yeah. pattern in
Yeah.
there.
So this
Gives
is
you-
Piglet, named for obvious reasons. She was born
Aw.
with a little kink in her tail, but she thrives regardless, and she is an Enigma line paradox, hypogranite. That is also Poshead albino green. So
little
Piglet's
tail.
awesome. I also have her sister, Miss Fiona, who is another Enigma line paradox ivory granite plus albino granite. We haven't been able to breed her to prove her out yet. Unfortunately, she had something go down with her a couple months ago. It's really weird. I don't know what happened, but she kind of she didn't all of a sudden regurged a couple meals. Keep in mind, she's a couple years old, right?
Mhm.
Never had issues. All of a sudden, she regurgitated a couple meals. Then we obviously stopped feeding her, give her a rest. And then she had a rough shed. And then all of a sudden, she lost some of the pigmentation in her paradoxing.
Huh.
So anybody who has followed my page or anything, you've seen my ivory granite paradox. That's Miss Fiona with the crazy orange splotches on her. Everybody thinks she's an albino pied. She's not. She is an Enigma line paradox, ivory granite, or plus albino granite with her paradoxing. But yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I've never seen it. Jackie, who produced the animals, has never seen it. She's the most crazy Enigma line paradox that's ever been made, and I was fortunate enough to get her. But we'll see how she ages. I'm also really curious if she's going to do that weird. I'm searching for the term. I'm sorry, you guys, but there was a granite burm at the Australian Zoo that all of a sudden lost pigmentation and almost turned into a cow retic looking animal.
Huh.
So I'm really curious if she's going to go through some sort of similar pigmentation change. We just fed her a couple days ago and she's keeping it down, so I don't want to pull her out.
No, don't touch her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even if you wanted to replace that animal and I had the biggest bank account in the world, I could not replace that animal. So
Yeah.
sorry, we're gonna leave her. I'll pull
No.
Gizmo. He's one of the original animals that started all of this for me. When I first started getting Burms and really starting to work with them, this was a present from Amanda. She surprised me with this boy, and he sired multiple clutchers for me. He was my
I
first
think he is.
on morph. Nope, only one shoulder, buddy. So you can tell he's going into shed. Normally he's much more vibrant than this.
Super cool.
Yeah.
This is a green or patternless. He's also double het albino granite. This is Gizmo. This is my dude.
He's the one that's been moving around in the back the whole
Yeah,
time.
he's been
Like,
saying
hey,
Yeah.
what about me?
No, he's been with me since day one. This is my dude. Well, I say day one. Keep in mind when I say that, guys, is since I started breeding, not just keeping. I started keeping reptiles when I was a little kid. But since I've been breeding, he was my first Burmese python morph. After Amanda and I got together, she surprised me with him, and he's been with me ever since, and he will be with me for the rest of his life. Whether I'm breeding him or not, I just love this dude. We've been actually line breeding him for the past few years. So he produced our albino girl, Amelia, who's albino, double het green granite. She was proven out this last season. And then produced some amazing line bred albino greens from there. So he's my dude. He kind of goes in on his own time. I just kind of
Yeah, he does.
I love that they all have that. Okay, it's time to go back in. I'm not going to fight it.
No, they're all
I'll take my
for the
time.
most part, they're all super chill. The one who will fight me on it is his daughter. So I can pull her out.
You always got to have one. That
Oh
fights.
yeah. Grandma or mom and dad. So Carmela is the mom. Gizmo is the dad of the one I'm about to pull out, which is Amelia. And then I wish I still had some of the grandkids here, but they've all already sold. Yes, hi, honey. She's probably going to come flying out. Yep. Well, at least strike the glass. She's awesome once you get her out, but she's very food motivated until you touch her and she knows it's not food time. Yes, hi, honey. Come here.
Her. They just keep going.
So a lot of people know, a good old classic albino.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she's awesome. She was our first ever holdback Burmese.
Thanks for tuning in, Mike.
Really cool
Mike said
squiggly.
Mike had to head out, but he said, thank you. Thanks for the great
Thanks for jumping on, Mike. Hey, let me come pick up them pinkies later, bro. Yeah, Amelia. They're all
beautiful.
So sweet. I don't know. Like I said, there's something about this species for me. I absolutely love them. I think they're freaking amazing animals. They're so fun to interact and work with. They all got their own personalities. Yes, I know. Yeah, see, she's already trying to come back out.
Bro asked if that's the mother of the baby. So that's
Yes,
the mother or of his baby. Sorry.
Yes, this is the mother of your baby. And Gizmo is the grandfather of your baby. And Carmela is the grandmother of your baby. I have all the lineage. Still right here with me because I love them. I did recently post a couple of those girls, including the mother of yours, Amelia. Hard call, but it'll be worth it in the end.
I just love that after you put them in, Gizmo was back there like, excuse me. And now she's back there like,
oh, yeah. I totally started something by starting.
You did. I love it, though.
Be there.
I could see you could spend every waking hour in there.
I pretty much do. Anytime I'm not at my full job or I'm not out, hiking, fishing, or shooting, I'm in here and working with the animals. Every single day. There's not a single day I'm not in here. And anytime I'm typically in here, I try to pull a Burm out and just let him cruise around the floor.
That's awesome.
Billy was asking how long it takes to get that size from a hatchling.
It really depends on the animal. Some of them I've noticed are a lot smaller. Like Gizmo, males tend to grow a little slower. They say they're sexually dimorphic. Yes, a tiny bit, but not as much as people say they are. I think males just tend to grow a lot slower. But they can and will still get just as big eventually. With that said, Amelia is, I think, going on 5, 6. And then, like Gizmo, we didn't get him as a baby. I think he's pushing, he's got to be pushing 9 years old. Carmela, who I wish I could pull out right now, she's got to be pushing, for the best we know, 12 to 14 plus years old, maybe even more. And that's really big female. And then just, like I said, it can vary. A good rule of thumb, I guess I would say, is from hatchling to about 5 foot, 6 foot mark. You could expect that in the first year and a half or so, maybe 2 years, right? As long as if you're not pushing them, obviously you can make it happen quicker. I don't recommend it. It's not my style. I'm a good happy medium kind of guy. And then as far as bigger than that, by about 3 years old, you should be looking at right around the 10-foot mark for females, maybe 8-ish foot mark or so for most males. And then once they hit that kind of like 10-foot mark, get a little bit older, they hit that 10-foot mark, growth drastically slows down. So after that, especially if you're not feeding them good sized meals, it's going to drastically slow down. What I like to do is, we talked earlier in the podcast or the stream about I like to feed a varied diet. But what we didn't mention is I also like to feed a varied schedule and a varied amount of food, right? So Carmela might get 10 pounds one feeding, and then I might feed her a little more frequently, but then I might give her 20, 25 pounds of food and not feed her for a month and a half.
Okay. That makes sense.
So that's just how I do things. Some other guys, they stay on like a strict, this is the schedule. We're feeding them this. I just don't like to do that. I come in here, I'm like, hey, they haven't eaten 3-4 weeks. Their last meal was really big. I'm gonna wait one more week, then I'll feed them. Or yeah, and it depends on how old they are. Like the big adults is every 3 to 4 weeks. That kind of sub-adult range, I feed every 2 to 3 weeks, and then the younger animals I feed every week to 10 days.
Yeah, that's we just switched all of our ball pythons over to the every other week.
Yeah,
but I still don't feed them as large as I can.
Yeah,
even the bigger females, like if they could eat a large, I might give them a mid-range medium at the most.
Yep.
And they still put on the grams.
Yep. I honestly do the same thing with the balls. So like some weeks I'll give the big girls a large. Other weeks I might give them a small or maybe 2 smalls. And I kind of I don't know. I've always done that where I just kind of varied up a bit more. The only thing you could say I really feed on a consistent, regular, steady basis is like hatchlings I have for sale, or babies in general. They eat every 5 to 7 days, typically a rat pup or appropriate size meal. Beyond that, especially holdback animals, nope, they're getting a varied diet. I'll feed the ball python quail.
Yeah.
How I like to do things. I don't know. The only thing I kind of stay away from is mice for ball pythons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like feeding mice.
No.
It's hard. That's the hardest thing, in my opinion, to get them back off of.
Yeah, and you got to feed them a lot more, and it's not sustainable long term. I don't know. I've had an issue with a lot of mousers in the past, so I just stay away from it.
Yeah.
But absolutely. I noticed I can give them rats. I can give them quail. I've even fed little rabbit kits, like, when we had rabbits that didn't quite make it and we knew they were fresh and, whatnot, or we knew they weren't going to make it. So we called off little rabbit kits. I've had ball python eat rabbit. No problem.
No, it makes sense.
And honestly, I think it's kind of good for them. I'm not saying everybody should go out and freaking do that all the time, but if you can vary up the diet every once in a while and your balls aren't picky, try it.
Yeah, why not? You have it right there available.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we will have to go soon to feed this little rascal, but
yeah,
I have to ask this question because Angel, we have to do it for Angel because this is how Angel would like to end our show. Since we finally named the podcast In Your Circle, he would like to end the podcast with a great question. And I have a feeling I know your answer already, but who's in your circle?
Oh, man.
No, thank you.
Tucker and Angel, for sure. Those are 2 of my really good friends. I love both those guys. Anybody in the chat who hasn't checked them out, it's Angel with Angel Caro Reptiles, also the co-host on this show, and my man Tucker from Purple Rain Reptiles. Those are my boys. But honestly, there's a lot of cool local guys. Mike from Ball Python Boulevard, Mike from Rip City Reptiles, Kendra and Jeff from Puget Sound Pythons. I could go on and on. My man Aaron over at Black Diamond Herps, Jappy. Oh my God. Sorry, Jackie. Jackie with Cold Hearted Exotics. I mean, I could go on and on. I've been very fortunate, at least the last couple of years, to meet some really amazing people in this hobby. MJ with Trap Talk. I mean, I could go on and on. The first couple of years, I'll be honest, it was rough. I got a lot of misinformation, especially about the Burms and stuff, and just misled, right? But I've been very fortunate to have some really cool people in my circle the last few years. So, and I owe a lot of where I'm at to those people.
Gotta have that circle and the people in it.
Yeah, that's what makes it all worth it.
I'm very fortunate, and you guys are definitely in that circle now that we've talked more. So one of these days, I don't typically have people in the room, but one of these days, you three are going to have to come down here and check out some stuff in person.
That'd be
We
awesome.
would love that.
It'll do a lot more justice than this shitty webcam. I can tell you that.
It's okay.
you're
He
good.
can't hear you.
Even if you did,
It's in
I'd
my
work
ear.
on the shop floor. It comes out of my mouth.
Yeah. What?
Good. I'm horrible. I'm sure you guys know that already.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's right on par. You don't speak any differently than I do.
Nope. I just speak with what comes to mind. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a straight shooter, 100% real. I'm gonna tell you how it is, whether you like it or not.
Yep. And if you don't like it, that's on them.
Yep, exactly. And with that said, if you're my real friend, I'm gonna be 100% harsh real with you because that's what real friends do.
Yes,
Absolutely.
which is how it should be.
That's what we've grown to appreciate over the last 2 years more and more. The people that will
Right.
just come out and tell you exactly, bluntly, and to the point what it is.
No, I love it. Especially like me, Angel, and Tucker, dude. I mean, I can't say too much, but let's just say we got our group chat and we are very blunt with each other about,
Good.
projects, this, that, and the other thing. Like, but I love it. I love those guys. It's awesome to have that group of local friendship where you can just be straight up with each other.
Yeah.
I was trying to give Tucker shit. I was like, you got to use one of your passes, bro. Come up here and hang out, make a special appearance. He's like, "I can't make that drive." I was like, shut up and get up here.
Yeah. There's the future plan of having everybody on at once
Yeah.
is possible.
I don't know if the internet can handle it.
Yeah,
Oh, Angel's 3 minutes up the road. I'll go drag his butt over here. Tucker will have to get up here. We can all just be here and just do the stream.
It'll be amazing.
that'd be great.
Or if I know Mike said he had to go earlier, but if we get the burrito barbecue going, we can do a stream at the burrito barbecue.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Have all the locals.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we didn't get to make it to that.
No.
Okay,
You
we
guys
better go
got to
and
make
go.
it to the burrito barbecue.
We will this time.
It's a lot of fun.
Sorry.
We all hang out. We all get to talk our projects and whatnot. It's you guys got to make it.
Sorry for the rascal here.
Oh
He
no,
likes
you're
being
good.
on the limelight.
Yeah.
He likes
You're
being on the
good.
screen. What can you say? It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Later, little man.
Well, thanks for coming on with us, Dylan. And we can't wait to do this when Angel can be with us and Tucker. The whole crew.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, Dylan.
Say have a good night.
Have a good night.
Peace
Bye,
out.
Dylan.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, we had a lot of great people in the chat. That's for sure.
Bye.
Bye, Dylan.
Later, you guys.